Welcome back to Studio 12. Will Johnson, Matt Simon with you, south end zone of Kyle Field. Let's talk a little baseball right now. We have with us right here on set head coach Rob Childress. The Fall World Series, that quest for the Omaha Cup, it is underway. It started yesterday. You guys will actually take today off and then resume it on Thursday and Friday. Farmers versus Plowboys, as it is every year. It's just a rivalry within the program by now with these two teams. But a heck of a game yesterday.
It sure was, and like we talked about, I mean, it starts from day one in the fall with their competing in the classroom with grades, community service, effort in the weight room, effort on the field, and then the games that we played, and leading into the championship series, it was tied at 8-8 as far as games won and games lost, and yesterday's a 2-1 game into the ninth inning, and it ends up being a 6-4 game. So it's never over till it's over. And the Farmers down 2-1. They hit a home run in the eighth to make, or down 2-0. They hit a solo home run, make it 2-1. And then the ninth, they came and took it from the Plowboys, and scored 5 runs. And the Plowboys come right back and made them a little bit nervous. Scored a couple of runs, had runners on base with the guys they wanted coming up, and Ryan Hendricks was able to get out of the jam and finish the win off for the Farmers to make it interesting as we go into our last 2 days of the competition. So it's still all up for grabs, and I like seeing the guys play a little bit of pressure on them.
Yeah, 3:30 tomorrow, 3:30 Friday. It's free admission if people want to go out to Bluebell and check it out. I've always been fascinated by how much emphasis you guys put on it, just because it's so unique to me. It's a cool deal. Your Omaha Cup trophy is displayed as prominently as any of your conference championships are in the baseball area. Does it take the freshmen and the new kids in the program a couple of days to figure out what a big deal this is, or do they pretty much figure it out as soon as they step on the field that first day?
I think they've got an understanding of how important it is, and it's a great case study when you do this, and that the most talented team never wins a trophy. It's the team that's most consistent in everything that they do, and once you get into the SEC race, you've got 14 teams competing that are all extremely talented. Some maybe a little bit more talent than others, but everybody, for the most part, it's equal in talent. So what is it that separates the 8th place team from the 1st place team? And it is all those little things, and more often than not, it's never been the most talented team that wins. It's the team that's most consistent in every area, on the field, off the field, in the classroom, in the community, that ends up hoisting the trophy here at the end of this deal in the fall.
It's kind of a microcosm for the sport of baseball itself, isn't it? Because it's not always about who has the most talent. It's just about doing the little things right.
It is. You only get to play 9, and no matter how deep you are, you can only have 9 on the field, contributing at any one point. And obviously, once you get deeper into a weekend, the depth in the bullpen and on the mound tends to show up a little bit. But usually those teams find their 9, 10, 11, 12 position players, and that's who they're going to ride. So it's all about just being great teammates and seeking opportunities to help others, and that's kind of the way baseball is. That's why they call the bunt sacrifice, and giving yourself up for the betterment of the team and others behind you.
I wanted to ask you, fall ball in general, is this where you might be prone to experiment a little with maybe a guy in a different position for a few days, just to try it, to see if it helps, knowing that you got a little time before first pitch of the year?
It does, and we've done that this fall, especially on the infield with the graduation and of Blake Alamon moving on, and Logan Nottebrock moving on as well. I mean, the left side of our infield is brand new, and so we've taken a different look at several different guys throughout the course of the fall there, and it seems like the last couple of weeks we've kind of solidified things and played better defense for the most part on the dirt.
And is that when you start fall ball, do you have to wear off some sloppiness because these guys may not have been, transitioning right in from baseball, may have taken a week or 2 off or something? I mean, you have to combat a little sloppiness.
Certainly so, and especially when you're new on the dirt and you're putting in first and thirds, you're putting in bunt coverages, and the situations that are maybe a little bit different than it was in their high school, and for the first couple of weeks, it's a little bit choppy, a little bit sloppy, but for the last 3 weeks, it's been really good, and with each week, we've gotten a little bit better, and that's been the most, impressive thing for us as a coaching staff, is seeing that improvement, throughout the course of the last 3 weeks. For the most part, it's been really, really good.
Rob Childress with us here on Studio 12, the Wednesday edition, talking a little fall ball, Aggie baseball in the midst of their Fall World Series. Tremendous season last year for you guys, 50 wins, and you make it to the cusp of going to Omaha. Talk about some of the leadership you've seen from guys that came back from that team with the experience they bring back as they try to ingratiate these new guys into the team.
Well, there's certainly a lot of disappointment in the finish, getting to the door, not being able to run through it, and that team was special. It's as much fun as I've had during my time here at Texas A&M, and it's the players that made it such. And losing our top two pitchers, nobody ever made an excuse. It was just the next guy up, and the guys played hard for one another, cared for one another, and they were all invested in each other. And for this 2016 team, it's a different team, different identity, but the leadership that is back and as close as they got, and the disappointment that they feel it's been really good. When you start talking about on the position player side, guys like Ryan Burke and Nick Banks and Michael Barish have done a great job from that standpoint. You throw in the seniors as well. When you start talking about in the outfield, Jonathan Maroney and J.B. Moss, there's some older guys, and Hunter Melton's such a great teammate and already a senior as well. And on the pitching side of things, Andrew Vinson has already been here. It's his fourth year, and Kyle Simons is another one that is a senior now and has having a really good fall. Both those guys are, and then Ty Sloatman, who's been here for the last 9 years, and he's working on his doctorate degree and finding a way. But that type of those guys would be I would say the cornerstone of our leadership, and they do a great job punching the clock every day and expecting that out of each and every guy on the team.
What about on the mound this fall? What have you seen? I mean, I know Stubblefield and Hendricks, and I talked to you just after last season. I know you mentioned you had high hopes for Corbin Martin, who was a freshman a year ago. Just what have you seen on the mound? Because Matt and I have talked. It feels like the reports we get, it's been pretty solid on the bump.
It really has. Yesterday we started Kyle Simons and Andrew Vinson, and they both gave incredible starts and got their team really deep into the game. I think they left the game, and it was a 2-1 game. And tomorrow we'll start a true freshman in Tyler Ivey out of the Dallas area. That is, for a freshman, when you talk about going to the fall, a lot of times they have a good fall, but there's one or two outings where they get punched in the mouth a little bit, and you have to see him respond. He's been dominant and has done a really good job. He'll face Tyler Stubblefield, and then in Game 3, Corbin Martin has taken a step forward and done a really good job, and he'll face Brigham Hill, also a sophomore that I feel like's made a major jump for us. So those nucleus of 6 guys have done a great job for us and trying to take a look at them in starting situations. Obviously, we're not going to have a 6-man rotation in the spring, but those guys are getting the opportunity. And then another newcomer to our program is Jace Vines. He played at Tyler Junior College last year for Chad Sherman, who pitched for us back in the day, and he's been outstanding. A sinker slider guy. I hadn't walked a guy all fall, and was up to 93 with great sink and very good command. And Stephen Kolick's a true freshman. Big, strong, physical kid out of Shepherd, Texas, that has had some really good days. Another guy that's been low to mid 90s that has thrown strikes and is going to be a fun one to watch. And that's the thing that the depth that we have thus far it's been pretty good, especially having to face the hitters that we have to face day in, day out. They don't let you come up for air very often.
Yeah. What about some of the new guys, new faces out in the field that the fans might be looking forward to seeing, or maybe some names they should pay attention to as they watch these fall games?
Behind the plate, Cole Bedford is a redshirt freshman that is coming off Tommy John he had 2 years ago. Is finally healthy. He's had a really good fall for us. Dane Summer is also a transfer, played for Austin Knight at Northeast Texas Community College. He's a great worker, and those two guys are going to be great additions, to Michael Barish. And on the infield, some new guys. Austin Holman is a transfer from San Jacinto Junior College that can play anywhere on the dirt. And then at shortstop, Alan Campero is a true freshman out of Laredo, is an exciting player and can really run, can really throw, and can make things happen. George Ancha is another true freshman out of Georgetown that can play shortstop, and those two guys are battling out at short, and Austin Holman's in the mix there as well. And Boomer White's played in the outfield last year in redshirt year, but we've moved him in, and he's played a really good third base along with Tristan Metton, a true freshman out of the Dallas area. And in the outfield, Walker Pennington would be one guy that came in from San Jac that's been a nice addition for us. He's done a real good job for us in the outfield, not just defensively but offensively as well.
Speaking of newcomers, you're welcoming some to the program today. It is signing day for college baseball, and we always preface that when we talk about it. If a young man hadn't sent that fax in, if he's not official yet, none of us can speak of him. But just your thoughts on today, what's coming in, and it's another good class for you.
Well, it's maybe as good a class as that we've had from a position player standpoint during our time here. Justin Seeley does an amazing job as our recruiting coordinator. I think not only is he one of the best in the state, he's one of the best in the country at developing relationships, not just identifying talent, but developing those relationships and, not just with the player, but with the family as well. And, we'll welcome 13 new players here to Texas A&M. Hopefully have something out by the end of the week. But it's a really good class. 5 pitchers, 3 of them being right-handed, 2 of them being left-handed, 4 infielders, and those guys can also play anywhere on the field. And a couple of catchers, one that can play other positions, a very good athlete, a true first baseman, and a difference maker in the outfield as well. So feel really good about them. They're all high school kids with the exception of one being a junior college transfer that we'll bring in next year. And again, it's a tribute to Justin and the rest of the staff for as hard as they've worked in the recruiting process.
And I've also noticed 100 days till first pitch of the college baseball season.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, what weighs out with you? Are you a guy that says, hurry up, I can't wait till it gets here? Or as a coach, are you kind of like, give me some time, I need to sort out?
Well, 100 days means it's duck season. 100
I knew that was coming.
Till
There you go.
opening day means it's duck season, and that needs to happen first. And hopefully
Leaving the state this winter?
Hopefully the weather will get cold up north and push them down in a hurry. And if we've got to go find them, then we'll just go find them when we get done outside with baseball.
Got to do what you got to do, my man.
I love it. 3:30 tomorrow and then 3:30 on Friday. The weather's looking great for those 2 days, and I hope a lot of fans are able to come out. Free admission at Bluebell Park. Great chance to catch baseball in the
We
fall.
had a good crowd yesterday, and the more people we can put in the stands, the more you get to see a different look from our players. We go through fall practice, and there's no one in the stands, and they get comfortable with that. But to put more people in the stands, I think for our new players it's really important, so they feel that pressure of seeing people in the stands and how they're going to handle things. You could sense a different feel yesterday, especially with the new guys. But hopefully on Thursday and Friday we'll get even more people out there and let our players feel that and experience that awesome magic.
Well, Rob, we appreciate the time, and we'll see you soon. And we appreciate you coming over. I know you get to see Will's face maybe on the video board during football season. Other than that, you don't see him till the spring, so it must be nice.
Not very much. I get to see him, like you said, on the big screen, and it's prominent out there at the football field. But it's nice to be over here and get to visit with you guys about baseball during football and duck season.
That's right. Well, the clock's ticking for me. I can't wait.
Oh, man.
100 days.
Bring it on. Let's go.
Yeah. I just got to get through Christmas, and then we're ready. All right, thanks, Coach. All the best for the Fall World Series and the continued prep for the season.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.